Hi everyone, welcome to Nuhara, the Enlightenment podcast. And today we have a very special guest. Well, he's not really a guest, he's part of the church, part of our community. Domenic.
Hi, Buddha.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. And I've never actually said congratulations on this podcast.
Thank you.
How long have we been, planning this since? So many years.
This was in the works for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting, Shamasha? We were trying to find a moment, a time to have the grand opening.
Yeah.
We couldn't find a moment. So guess what? We thought the most perfect timing would have been when our bishop became patriarch, and we said, you know what? Let's get the patriarch to do the grand opening of our podcast, and here we are today, bro.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Exactly. Oh man, I tell you, Buddha, nothing beats this feeling. Actually, first of all, just coming back home and seeing you and being in this room. I remember when this was being constructed. There was nothing here.
That's true.
And Heyman, when I watched the first video of the patriarch, my heart it was like bubbles and butterflies.
Yeah.
It was just. I'm like, wow. I'm like, we did it. Our church did this podcast,
beautiful.
and then.
The Holy Spirit is working.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what, Domenic? The Holy Spirit is working in you too, bro.
God willing. God willing.
The fact that you're in the seminary, which we'll be talking about, we'll be talking about, your life, Domenic, your testimony, your challenges, and you wearing the sutana.
Man,
bro, this a lot is happening.
Get ready for a long ride. Get ready for a long day.
And you know what, Shamasha? I want to say, and Heyman, I mean this with the depth of my heart. I want to say, when you come to Melbourne, bro, I feel like the light shines in Melbourne, and there's a sense of love and beauty and faith that you bring with you every time you come here. So I just want to let you know, whenever you want to come back to Melbourne, bro, we'll open our hands and our doors to you.
I think you need to come to Sydney more. We need more light in Sydney. So you bring the light to us.
But I'm glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah,
you're here for a break.
Yeah, we're on our first mid-semester break, which is 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks.
And I've no doubt when you get the chance, you quickly like that you come running to Melbourne.
The funniest thing is that because I just finished my spiritual retreat, silent retreat for 1 week, or technically it's 8 days.
You tell me about that.
Yeah,
that would have been tough for you if I was in the Middle East.
It was tough. It was tough, and then
we love talking.
We love talking. We love doing everything. The funniest thing is when after 3 days, I was doing very good for the first 4 days. The 5th day hit, it was like, I don't know how to be silent. Man, I was just looking at my friends, my other brother seminarians, and I'm just trying to make him laugh. I think I was like the what do they call Yomit Koma? I was a dark day for them. They were taking it so serious, and I'm staring at them when they're eating. I just want to see someone smile.
You're talking to a wall, bro.
Yeah, literally. And I remember speaking to my spiritual director, Father Jim. He's the Diocese of Broken Bay. And then I was telling Father, I was like, Father, I think I've done everything. I think I've got everything that I need. And he says, that's the number one thing everyone says. After 4 days, they think they've gotten everything.
Yeah.
And what's so beautiful is that it's a life healing journey. Of course, some things in the topics I didn't really agree, but the most part of it was you speak to no one and only to God. And what's so beautiful, Abun, is that you don't realize it until when you're silent for 1 week and you have adoration every day.
Yeah. God
really exposes you. But it's not like a shameful
it's
expose.
you and your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's like these hidden wounds, these hidden things that you never knew you were struggling with. There's things that never knew you were scarred, maybe from childhood, maybe from your past. But it's revealed in this silence. And I took advantage of scripture. And one thing, and I told this to my spiritual director, I said, Father, look, I can't pay attention to these talks. With these talks, I can't really pay attention to them. So I said, Father, let me focus more on scripture. This is what this is my specialty. This is what I love. And he said, go for it. So they gave me scripture, everything. And then every time they gave me a scripture, he wanted me to put myself in that position, to be a witness of whatever's happening. For example, one of them was Lazarus, Christ raising Lazarus from the dead. Another one was Jesus at Garden of Gethsemane. And he's just like, just imagine you there. What are you feeling in this silence? And Heyman, it
confronts you.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Because we like to suppress our thoughts by just talking.
Exactly.
When you're in that silence, bro, God reveals to you things that you never thought He's going to reveal to you.
I remember when I first got back in the faith, and everyone's like to me, oh, so you have to be patient with God. God speaks in silence. I'm like, what do you mean God speaks in silence? Like this doesn't make sense. Silence, there's no speaking. Until like silent retreat, I think that's where I really heard God.
Can I tell you, Shamasha, some of the boys were telling me, so they went on a silent retreat, so no speaking. I think it was like for 3 days, bro.
Yeah.
And I know these boys, they like to talk a lot. And I kid you not, Heyman, after 2 days, they started talking to cows because it was a farm. So they started talking to animals.
Wait, I promise you, Buddha, you're going to love this. There's 1,000 acres. I promise you, Heyman, I wish I had my phone. That farm, 1,000 acres, I promise you, there was around 16 cows. Bro, I wasn't just speaking to them. I started mooing with them. And then there was horses too. There were some horses.
Yeah, what do you like? Cows, like, what's going on? Like,
I think around no one's here and like, speak to me. I'm like, maybe there's some divine revelation. The donkey, maybe like the Old Testament, where the donkey speaks. It makes you go like, not crazy, but it makes you like it's
a good thing.
It is again.
And I think it's important, to be honest with you, for every man and woman
100%.
to sometimes attend these silent retreats.
Yeah,
our world is so loud. You know, there's always something or someone telling us something. You know, our phones, the billboards, the TV. Everyone is trying to speak to us.
Yeah.
And I heard a story once, Shamasha, and it was to this bishop, and they said to him, "How long do you pray for?" And he says, he goes, only 5 minutes. And the journalist, she goes, that's surprising. Like, you're a bishop, you're meant to be praying more.
Yeah.
He goes, no. He goes, I'll pray for 5 minutes. He goes, but I prepare for half an hour.
There you go.
And that's the silence, you know. And I think the problem is sometimes we're always talking to God, but hold on a sec. And like, have you stopped and listened to what God has to say?
Exactly, yeah.
So, which is, I think it's important.
Yeah, and I remember with that silence part, is you in the silent retreat, you realize something is that you finish words. There's nothing to say. I have nothing to say left. Like, what do I say, Lord? I've exposed myself to you. I've said so many things, and you know, I've confessed, and I'm just there. You actually, to this point, is you're even silent with God now.
Yeah.
Not just with your community, but what's even crazier is already in the first year seminarians, we have no phone. We get it back 6 p.m. Friday, and we give it back 6 p.m. Saturday. So we only have it 24 hours a week. So you think you've already given enough.
Yeah.
You know, you have no phone. You get the news from a newsletter. We get the weather from the newsletter, which is never reliable because it gets printed. It's like, it's going to be sunny, and then next minute it's raining. But like, you think you've already given so much, you know, to God. But then when you do silent retreat, you realize there's so much more you can give. Yeah. You actually take advantage of every hour in the 24 hours and every minute and every second of that day. Which is, I love it. And in November, we got a 30-day silent retreat.
Oh, wow.
Which is...
3 days, 9 days is hard. Imagine
9 days is hard.
Imagine that long.
30 days.
But you know what? I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It must be good for someone to kind of, listen to their inner thoughts and see what God's saying.
100%, yeah.
But Shamasha, let's go back to the Dom that wasn't in church, bro, that didn't really care about faith. But you weren't into faith.
Never.
In your life, you know, like you didn't really care.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember your dad.
My dad always says that story, you know.
I remember your dad coming up to me and saying to me, "I want to please, talk to Dom. You know, tell him to come to church. Tell him to come to these conferences." And at that point, I'm like, bro, like, who is even Dom? I don't even know who this guy is. Look where we were and look where we are at the moment.
Yeah. 4 years ago.
So Dom, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
It's been a journey, and I want to say, it's an honor and a privilege for me to be part of this journey in your life. I've seen you when you got into the church and where you are at the moment. It's like you're a son to me, Domenic.
Thank you,
see your growth within the church. Let's go back to before you got into the faith.
Yeah.
What was Dom like, bro? Like, you know, what kind of person were you? Why weren't you into the faith? You know, what were you doing in the world?
Yeah, my family was always raised a religious family. They were always Catholic. In fact, everyone thought Daniel, my brother, was going to be a priest. And they kept saying, I knew he was going to become a priest. He's so holy. He would go youth. Daniel would be going youth on Wednesdays. And then I'll be, at the first in the past, I'll be, chatting up with girls, try to find a day to go out. And then on Saturdays, Daniel would be going on maybe Saturday school or helping something out with the church. I'll be going at the clubs. Or he'll be with the family, or he'll be, is innocent in his games, playing his games, and I'll be out, committing many sins out in the public. And everyone thought that there's a big misconception that even if you have a big Catholic family, raised Catholic. I'm Chaldean Catholic. You all your kids will. And then there's something that I actually look back to now. And my dad said to me that I'm like, oh, what is my dad speaking? He doesn't know. He's too old. Doesn't know this. Whatever he's saying is rubbish.
Case, whatever
exactly.
Says, yeah.
And he said to me, and now, of course, if I look at it, he's like, yes, this makes sense. And he's like to me, Brony, he's like, son, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And I'll show you what type of person you are. And he knew my friends and he knew the things I was doing. That's probably the reason why he came to you, to get me back to the church. But me in the past, all I wanted to want is to please the world. I didn't want to please anyone else but the world. And I knew if I please the world, I get everything I want. If that means to go to clubs, not paying to go to clubs. If that means to look more powerful for girls to come to you. There was nothing I wanted than pleasure for myself and pleasure for the world, which is unfortunate because it came to a point that I was numb, that I didn't care. I didn't care about anything else in life except that. But what's ironic is that Dom in the past was seeking for something, and it was actually love. That Domenic just wanted love.
Yeah, isn't it interesting, Shamasha? It's the young people these days is they go out looking for. What are they looking for? They're looking for love. They're looking for companionship. But they're trying to do all these things without God. But exactly. Like this, you can go looking everywhere, but you won't find that unless you're looking for God first.
Exactly.
And I think you must have been longing for that, and you're just looking at it from the wrong places, like clubs and girls.
I was so thirsty for it, and all I want, I'm like, okay, how many girls can I be? The more girls I have, the more cool I am. That was the masculinity thing, whatever it is. That's all fake. Yeah. This Andrew Tate stuff, man, that's all fake. Yeah. So and that was, but to be honest, I don't blame him because that was the mindset I had. That was the mindset I'm saying, look, I'm not popular enough because I don't have much. I don't have enough girls. I'm not making enough money. But let's be honest, at that time, money wasn't a problem for me. Money wasn't a problem. Fame wasn't a problem. Nothing was. I had everything.
Because you come from a rich family.
You can say that. You can say that. Yeah, true. Yeah, come with a wealthy family. Shout out to my dad, man. Man, he worked out. Yeah, so shout out to my dad.
God bless him. Yeah.
So literally, so it's like daddy's money, and I was privileged. I was spoiled, and I told my dad, I said, "Bab, you spoiled me." But that's because you love me. Yeah. It's not because he's just a rich kid. Yeah, give him everything he wants. No. He gave me discipline too, 100%. But I was spoiled. Everything I asked for, it would have been given to me.
Shamasha, if anyone would have seen you in that moment in your life, the Dom before church and before faith, would they have seen you become a priest? Like, would they have imagined? Would you have ever imagined yourself to be a priest one day?
Never. Not
even into the seminary.
Not even into the priest or seminary. Just giving up celibacy. I think that I had this sort of this feeling of addiction. Where actually, I think it was an addiction. It became an addiction where I had to go out there. I had to go to clubs. I had to be with women. I had to, I've never done drugs and I never will touch. But I was hanging on with friends that were doing drugs. So many times they said to me, "Why don't you try this? Why don't you try this?" I said, "Look, I can do the farthest I can go is probably, go out clubs and, if I have to sleep with a woman, there's all the desires, but I'll never go far to do drugs. I'll never harm myself." But I was in that environment, and who knows? Maybe they would have converted me to start taking drugs. Yeah. No one even knew. No one knows. It's
the influence of friends, bro. It's a whole different level these days.
The peer pressure was terrible.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have girls, if you wouldn't go out, what are you? You're lame. They'll say, "Oh, this guy's boring. He doesn't like this stuff. He's one of those guys." And
Sure, what baffles me more? It's these friends who influence to do bad things and evil things and drugs and clubs and girls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, these are Christians though.
Oh yeah.
These are people who, should know better. Yeah. Like, dude, I need you to help me into the kingdom of God, not help me to dwell into the world.
Unfortunately,
this is so sad.
It is, yeah. And it's sad because I was one of them. I'd go clubs on Saturdays and Sunday mass.
Correct. Yeah.
I was that person.
I used to be like that too, bro.
And when would I go to church? Yeah. Easter and Christmas, that's it. Yeah. And then my mom would hold me by my ear. She's like, hey, you're coming to church. And I'm like, okay, look, I'm a mama's boy. So whenever mama says, I'll do it.
It's one of those things, Shamasha, where you please the world on Saturdays and then you please God on Sunday, and just repetitive.
And mass 12:30, finish mass. Actually, this is before English mass was around. It was like just a normal Surat Mass. And I remember Mass finishing, I'm back to the same person I was on Saturday.
Bro, I used to sit all the way to the back. As soon as the
I used to
priest
sit
said the last
upstairs.
blessing, bro, I am out of that church. And I'm not seeing this church
Yeah.
again for another 7 days.
And that, I was just as bad, yeah. And even in Easter, I used to sit outside.
Yeah.
I used to be so happy that
I used to love
Jesus-
Christmas and Easter because why? There's no more seats at the church. I used to sit outside.
Yeah, I used to outside, walk to the
Walk
milk
around
bar,
with friends and
come
check out
back.
the boys,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just was. And the sad reality is that like, yeah, I was there with God, but I didn't realize how empty I was.
Yeah.
There was this sense of void. That I thought that the more stuff I could get from the world, the more it could fill up, but it could never.
So, Shamasha, this is what I want to get at. When did you first feel that maybe God is calling me to something bigger than this? What did it trigger? Was it someone? Was it something? Or like what happened?
What's beautiful is it was the Chaldean convention. It was 22. It was Chaldean convention in Sydney, and you know the story. This was when my
I know the
dad
story,
came
but
to you.
let the crowd hear the story.
Well, do you want to tell the story of when my dad came to you, or do you want to tell the story of my experience going to the convention?
Anyhow you like, bro.
Okay, so the story is a good one. The story is my dad came to Abu Mahad. This is when you were a deacon. You're a
Correct,
deacon
yes.
at that time. You weren't a
That's
priest
right.
yet. And he's saying, Shamasha, please take my son to the
Mahkim
convention.
Broni.
Mahkim Broni, قصة ولا شوارع. Mahkim منه ولا مشاكل له. Isn't it? He's a problem maker. He's in the streets. Just please speak to him. And then I remember you're like, yeah, okay, I'll see what I can do. And I remember you came to me and you're like, hey, bro, how are you? So you should come to this convention. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try. I'm like, it's not my type of thing. I wouldn't go. I remember you told Daniel, my brother too. And then Daniel, my brother, he did not stop like speaking to me about it. Storm, just come. Trust me. I'm like, man, what are you doing? But you guys are weird. You're going to pray every day. What am I going to do, pray? I'm like, I don't do these prayers. I don't want to pray. It's going to be too boring. These are not my people. I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to spend $300 just to pray. That's the mindset. And I was like, no, Dom. There's a soccer tournament. and then that soccer tournament.
Wins.
Yeah, and it always wins. And at that time too, I was in a relationship. I was actually in a relationship at that time. I think it was like a 7-8 months relationship. And at that time, and I remember, and she was a very religious woman, I remember. And I said, oh, look, there's this retreat, and are you going to go? I would only go if she went. And she's like, no, I'm not going. Because she has to work, something like that. And then my brother's like, just come. I'm like, fine. I'm only coming to play soccer, by the way. I'm not going to pray with you guys. I can't be bothered with this. This is your stuff. I'm just going to go play soccer. I'm not even that good in soccer, by the way. I'm not even good. I only play defense. I can't shoot.
Just butchering people.
I just butcher people, break legs, that's it. So we go, and then I remember I didn't plan my cabins because I wasn't even in the youth. Because I remember it was like on the AIS story. They said, who do you want to be in the cabins? I never signed up. I remember we just booked. Daniel booked it for me. And Daniel didn't put me in any cabin. So I said, okay, we'll see where it goes. And of course, God planting the seed. The cabin, looking back at it now, 100% this is God planting the first seed. It was... Everyone I know was so religious. It was AIS leaders. Was my friends that was in the seminary already. And it was his brother and it was my brother. And it was like all these boys are very religious. And you know, God bless them, they're very good. And every night they would pray the rosary. I'm there texting my girlfriend at that time. Saying,
look at these weirdos.
What are these guys saying, bro? This is a cult. I'm gonna get trapped. They're gonna do something to me. But she's like, no, trust me, just pray. She really wanted me to be into this retreat. So I was like, okay, I'll join in. And then I said, what are you guys praying? And they said the rosary. And then I said, all right. I said, can I join? And they said, yeah, you can join. And mind you, I think the whole cabin was so quiet until I think I stood it. I made them more psychotic. I made them more crazy because I think it was my energetic, my extrovert that everyone just got attracted to. And then so yeah, we prayed the rosary, and I remember my friend Jacob that was with me in that cabin, and he said, and he was pretty cut because we were so loud, so he couldn't sleep, and he walked out, and he came back and he said something that really stuck to my heart. He said, "What you guys are praying right now, what you guys doing right now, that's the most manliest thing ever." And I'm like, bro, what the hell is this guy saying? What manly? Praying the rosary is manly? This guy doesn't know what manly is. This is what I'm saying in my mind. And then some other friend came to me, he's like to me, and he knew I was stuttering, Hail Mary, full of... I didn't know I was saying Hail Mary, I didn't know the Our Father. And then he says, you don't know how to pray the rosary, do you? I'm like, nah. He's like, bro, are you Christian? I said, yeah. I said, I've never been in the church. This is actually my first time back in the church. I'm just here because my brother, and he told me to play soccer. I was like, oh, fair enough, that's good. And I remember the soccer games of when we played soccer games. Fun fact, there was 3 games. I only played 1. And after the first game, I don't know, something just got me attracted to speak to everyone, all the priests. And it was Father Simon from America. And I was speaking to Father Simon a lot. And then we get to know each other a lot. We opened up. And there was this attraction to speak to them. It was like this little small attraction, which I thought was just like excitement that I'm actually getting close to priests now. And it was the nuns that was there from America. And even Siedna and Abu Nathal, they're all there. I remember I'm speaking, and I think Abu Naroti was there.
Abu Douglas
too.
Sammy was there.
Everyone was there. It was like the full team.
Yeah, the whole cohort.
The whole cohort, everything. And then we were talking, and I was more attracted to the point that I was talking to them so much, I missed my 2 games in soccer. So it's like my attraction is no longer there for soccer. It's something now, but I don't know what that is. It hasn't been discovered. And I'm gonna skip like the day after, because after that it was just cruising. I remember Sienna did his talk, and he was talking about a theme, and the theme was Matthew 14:27. It was take heart, it is I, do not be afraid. And that talk, man, everyone was probably all asleep. They all stayed up, so they're all tired.
Yeah, that's what happens in conventions.
They fell asleep.
No one sleeps.
I'm here. I'm holding my chair. I'm like, wow, what a talk is this? I was thriving. I was loving this talk with Sienna. And Sienna probably thought, who's this weird kid in front of me? Like I was excited. I'm looking to my brother. My brother's eyes are like these, like fighting dear life to stay awake. And everyone else, I'm like this. No one's looking at me how excited I am. I'm like, guys, look, I'm actually loving this. I remember finishing, and I was messaging my girlfriend at the time. I'm telling her about this talk about what does it mean to take heart? What does it mean, to be on that water with Jesus? Because he gave me such a good scenario, which actually implemented that into my own life. And I was so excited. And she was saying, it's like, I prayed so much for you to come to God and to actually learn about this. I'm like, wow, that's so beautiful. It was a whole essay that she wrote. But that night, I think that night changed everything. That night is when we had our adoration. I've never been to adoration.
That was your first time.
First ever adoration. And then what's funny is I went there, crossed my legs on the floor. Wasn't kneeling. Everyone's kneeling. I'm crossing my legs. I'm like, what am I kneeling for? Like, it's Bhagavad it's the body of Christ, but is it truly? That's what I would say. And I was there for a couple of minutes, didn't know what to say. But when I stared at the Eucharist, it was like the gaze, God, Christ's eyes gazing upon me. And Haman, this is feeling. I remember saying this to my spiritual director. It's like a roller. You know when you're going down the roller coaster and your heart it's like lifts and drops at the same time. It's that feeling, and I was so uncomfortable with this feeling in my heart. And I walked.
Beating fast too.
Yeah, it starts beating fast, and I walked out. I said, "What is this? That is weird." And I walked out, and I walked like a panic walk. I'm walking, and I'm standing still. There was some boys next to me, and then like I'm just standing here like chilling, and then people started standing next to me. I'm like, "Oh, do they want to talk to me?" And then someone came to me and said to me, "Oh, are you still waiting in line?" I said, "Waiting in line for what?" He's like, "Bro, you're in the line for confession." My confession, and I look, oh wait, there's a whole line waiting for confession. So it's like I panic walked to confession without even knowing, which 100% I believe this is the guidance of the Holy Spirit. He guided me to this line. He gave me this glimpse of the feeling of Christ's love, to return to Him, and the only way to return to Him is through that confession. And I was in that line, and I was so embarrassed to go to confession. First time since communion. So it had been years. And we went to Abuna Simon. We spoke and did confession, and it was from then, it's changed. Yeah.
And actually, today.
And I'm here today. Funny thing is too, we took this photo. I wanted to take a photo with Siedna and Abu Nathal and Abu Rodi and Abu Douglas. Still love that photo to this day. It's a funny photo because I was standing at the side, all the priests, the bishops there. Let me send this photo to my dad. And then Siedna said, no, come in the middle of this photo. I said, La Siedna, please. And this is just Shadana Tababi and Siedna. And he started laughing. He's like, hey. And we sat and we took the photo, and then Abu Rodi came in and he said, Shaklalo Qasha. And I don't know if he said as a joke or anything. And then I'm like, this is weird. Everything's getting weird now. Like, why am I feeling this thing? Everything's getting weird. Why am I happy that he said that? But at the same time, I'm shocked. And then that next night was Abuna Simon's talk after your testimony. I still remember your testimony too. That was the first time hearing your testimony. It was one of the best testimonies I've heard. But after that talk, when Simon ended his talk with one thing, and he's holding his mic, when Father Simon's like, look guys, because it was a men's split night, and as a men, if anyone came to you, priest, bishop, anyone, layperson, said to you that priesthood suits you, give it a try. And he looked directly in my eyes. And the only person I told about this was Jacob. So I looked at Jacob, I'm like, why is he looking at me? I got so like nkhipli, hey man, like I got embarrassed. Why is he looking at me? And then
That's the way God works, hey?
Exactly the way God works. And then the final touch that I knew I had to start discerning was first week back, we wanted to go mass. And I look at the Shamasha room, the window, I'm like, oh, these are the boys. This is Andre, this is Stewie. I know these guys. I met them in the convention. These guys, we're mates now. And I wanted to go there, but I was so scared. And then something was in me, like, just go, just, like, take heart. Take heart. Don't be afraid. And I go and I went up and I asked Andre for a badla. And ever since then, I've never skipped mass. Ever since that Sunday. But what's crazy is when I came out of mass, there was this, I'm like, what is this familiar quote? I've heard this somewhere. Take heart, do not be afraid. This girl was wearing the convention shirt. She turned around and was in the back. Matthew 14:27. Take heart, do not be afraid. That's till this day, it's my favorite Bible verse.
There you go.
It's
and
led me.
I think Satan's favorite Bible verse. He always quotes it and he always talks about it.
Yeah, even in his patriarch homily, he mentioned it too. Yeah,
I think it's his favorite.
It's such a beautiful. It actually touched. It touched my heart. Yeah.
Shamasha, when you got into it, always this sense of. There would be a sense of fear, doubt, confusion.
Yeah.
I have no doubt now that your ex has regretted you telling you to go to the convention.
Yeah, no,
because they produced this.
She prayed too hard.
But you know what? She must have been a holy woman to her.
She was an amazing woman.
To God, which is beautiful.
God bless her, yeah.
There would have been a sense of confusion and fear that, okay, I'm stepping into the unknown at the moment. What fears did you have?
I think not even, there was a fear, but the one thing that bothered me the most was the fact that I know I'd be a good father. I've always wanted to be a dad. That's something in my heart. I've always wanted to be a dad, and I've always wanted to have a family. And I remember speaking to my spiritual director, and he said, and I told him that I said, look, this is what I actually I'm angry because I know myself I can be a good dad. Why can't I just be a married priest? And then of course he said, look, you're getting called now. You're not married, but the fact that you could see yourself as a good father makes you a candidate for the priesthood. Because if someone said, I don't want to get married and I don't want to be a dad and I'm scared to be a dad, shouldn't even discern priesthood. Because you're just as a father than a biological father in this priesthood.
Yeah.
But there's many fears. I
think, Shamasha, what we desperately need now also these days is not just good priests. It's, it's good fathers.
100%.
It's good biological fathers. It's good
Definitely,
dads. We need... I think our world and our families desperately need men who are good to be, good husbands and good fathers.
Yeah,
it's not just good priests. It's like you said, it's good dads.
And the spiritual father it's this fatherhood that it's unbelievable. It's there's things that I speak to you about that not even my own father knows, not even my own mother knows, no one in my family knows. There's this personal connection.
Yeah.
That you only get this with the priest.
I feel like, Shamasha, there's sometimes where man, people tell me the depths of their heart, and like the deep stuff.
Literally.
And it's a privilege first to hear that, and two, it's this is the God's way of saying Mabuna, this is my children.
Yeah.
And it's a
that's so beautiful.
Shamasha, you're in the seminary at the moment.
Yeah.
You've come a long way. You've come a long way, and it's beautiful to see you in this journey. What's the most challenging thing that you face in the seminary?
Yeah,
you as a young man born in Melbourne. What is the most challenging thing?
I think I always speak to people. Always expect celibacy as a challenge. I think it's only a challenge when you haven't accepted it. I think it's something you have to accept. I think that's still actually the last meeting I had for the end of this semester. Father Domenic, my spiritual director, my vocation director, not vocation, first year director. So we have a director just for the first years, and he takes care of all of us. He has a meeting with every first year. And he asked me a question. He asked all us seminarians a question. He says, what are your thoughts on celibacy? And I told Father, I said, look, I made sure that I'm okay with celibacy 3 years ago when I first started, or 4 years ago when I first started discerning, because if I wasn't okay, I would have left my relationship. I would have stayed. Is there still a sense of loneliness? 100%. If you didn't, then I'll be shocked, because you're all made to be with someone. But you have to have this constant reminder is that I'm not really alone. I have God. So the two things I reckon that I struggle with is I've never been an academic person. In school, I was a troublemaker. So when you're a troublemaker in school and you come to the seminary learning about Thomas Aquinas, oh my days, Thomas Aquinas, man.
Church fathers, bro.
Church
what
fathers.
are you talking about?
Mystical theology, like this spiritual theology,
deep,
and it's
deep
so
stuff.
deep, and it's so much. And I
And
remember,
you are from Brody, bro.
yeah, I mean from the northern suburbs, man. I was like, I'm just a little guy that doesn't know these stuff. But you know what? It's a challenge that I want. It's not. I'm not complaining. Oh, this is good. No. I want this challenge because someday someone's going to speak to me like this as as a priest, God willing. It's going to challenge me like Thomas Aquinas. And the funny thing, when we have passions, we study passions in the seminary as first years. And Thomas Aquinas goes through all the passions of the human person, and every answer he goes, but. Like he always has a but. He always has to rebuttal his own answer. It's so annoying. But I think that's one challenge I have. It's definitely the academic.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love that challenge. It's not a challenge that puts me down. I think that challenge helps me realize how much I can rely on God more.
Yeah.
It's a tool for me to rely on God.
And that's the best way, to rely on God. And I think that's what seminary is for, Shamasha. It's not for you to gain knowledge. It's for you to gain wisdom.
100%.
Wisdom is, there's something beautiful about wisdom. Is how do I deal with people? How do I understand this? How do I be able to communicate this to other people? Which is only relies on God and God alone.
Yeah.
He gives that to people.
Exactly. And that other one for me would be, to be honest, going to a Latin seminary, like a Latin rite mass. That itself for me was completely different. And me not getting used to Latin rites. So the fact that leaving this Chaldean heritage, this Eastern, this Aramaic mass language of Jesus, being a subdeacon, you're up there already, you're serving, you're doing all this, and you enter the seminary, you're back to the start. You don't know anything. You don't know Latin. You don't know the Western Mass. I think that was one of the challenges I had, and now I love it. I'm loving Latin. You can probably hear me singing it sometimes. I'm singing some Latin chants.
Shamasha, how has the seminary changed you? Because obviously been in the seminary now for how long?
6 months now.
6 months now, and you got a long way to go.
Oh, wait.
Is there a sense of change in your heart at the moment?
100%.
Is there what's been happening at the moment now?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of human formation in the seminary, which is the most important. I personally believe it's out of the all four formations. Like I think the least important is intellectual formation, because you got human formation, which is the most important. And I think this, whoever knows me, they can say I'm wrong, but I believe that every day I'm a better person than I was the day before. The seminary builds me up, it doesn't just build me for the priesthood itself. It builds you to challenge yourself. It builds you to be a better husband too, a better human.
That's correct, yeah.
It's not just be a better priest. So the one thing I know 100%, I've been 10 times better person than I was the day before.
That's good.
To understand, to read people, and prayer. I think one thing is prayer. Like I'd pray, of course, your normal prayers out of the seminary, but when I entered the seminary, most times you actually want to just pray. And it's always a thankful, it's like, wow, I'm actually here. And the first thing that I see is it's an increase of weight, big increase of prayer, and then the increase of becoming a better person. I think that it's changed me into that.
Only good things happen.
For
a person's soul and mentally, socially, physically, in every way possible, shape or form. Seminary is always good for the human person. Yeah. Shamasha, God willing, that one day you become a priest.
God willing,
If the Lord wills it. What are you most excited about?
Oh, that's such a
as
beautiful
a priest?
question.
What's the most exciting thing that you look forward to as a priest?
Wow, that's a big question. There's so many things I'm excited for now.
If we can bring down to one,
if I can bring to one thing,
what would it be? What would be the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to?
Of course, to minister the sacraments. And I think out of any sacrament, of course, we've got the consecration of the host. That's nothing can beat that. But there's something about hearing confessions and always being there for someone. Because I know people that go to confession, they have no one.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have this love, they're receiving this love from the priest, which is technically the love of Christ. It's not the priest anymore. This is Christ there.
Yeah.
And of course, none of us here are worthy to even be like Christ or to even have a speck of Christ's ministry in our life. But the fact that we can actually implement Christ's ministry, you know, like in John chapter 20, verse 23, 24, he says, receive the Holy Spirit. You know, if you forgive sins, they're forgiven. If you retain, they're retained. The fact you're able to do that, what the apostles were doing and Christ himself did, I think that itself, it's how, I want to be that, like Saint John Vianney. If there's a priest, like for confession, I want to be like that. He's always there. No matter what, no one will say no. Even though I'm busy, okay, I will come to you straight after this meeting. You just stay there and I promise you I'll be there. Yeah. And of course, this if there's anything I want to be known as a priest, is just someone that tried his best.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my next thing. I was going
to ask you. Yeah, well, there you go.
You jumping the gun, bro.
Yeah.
What kind of priest do you want to be, though? I mean, like, you know, there's other priests who focus on other things. Like, what kind of priest do you want to be, though? Like, what kind?
Yeah, like I said before, I think one thing would be is I want to be known as, or God willing, everything goes well, is, okay, Father Domenic, he's someone that always tried his best. He did whatever, he reached his limit and he would try as much as he had to go over, but he tried his best. He never failed. Like, he failed in his own, of course, in his, like, if he's too tired and stuff, yes, but anything I did, I would be known that I've tried my best. And of course, if we're talking about specialties, I want to be known for biblical studies, something like your specialty.
Yeah.
I think with the Bible, nothing brings light to my life. I think when I'm reading the Bible, reading the words of Christ, and the hymn speaking, it just gives me so much peace. Even if I have to read it 5 minutes before I sleep, or man, I have to always buy new Bibles because I don't know how my Bibles get crumbled. Because I'm always using it, and it gets dirty. Like, you know,
it's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem. Yeah.
You know, you're overusing the Bible.
Yeah, overusing it. So that's probably something I would want to be known as. Someone that tried his best and who loves the Bible.
You know, Shamasha, it's one of those things where God makes you the priest He wants you to be. Yeah. You know, like, we always have this idea, like, oh, this is the type of priest I want to be, and I want to do this, and I want to do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you become a priest, actually, now God is in control.
Exactly.
God is a boss. He'll tell you what He wants you to do, where He wants you to go. And that's the most beautiful thing about priesthood. Yeah. As soon as you become a priest, God is molding you to where He wants you to be in that moment, in that time.
Yeah.
And I think it's something beautiful about that.
What's beautiful about that is we'll go back to the silent retreat. That you could actually feel God molding you spiritually. Because of course when he shows you your weaknesses, and I remember complaining to the priest, I said, I don't want to see my weaknesses.
Yeah.
Show me what I can do, what's good things I can do. And then he gave me one of the best. It's like a bombshell. He dropped this bombshell verse. It was 2 Corinthians 12, I think verse 7 to 10. And then St. Paul's saying that I have a thorn that's pierced my flesh, and it's from Satan. And it's talking about his weakness. And then he says 3 times he begged God, take this weakness away from me. You know, 3 times he said, I don't want this, take this thorn away from me. And then Christ, man, his reply was so, every time he replies so perfect, but this reply was such a beautiful reply. He said, my power is made perfect in your weakness.
Correct. It's beautiful.
Wow. When I heard that, when he told me to meditate on that, I wrote 4 pages on my spiritual journal. And I wrote 4 pages of how privileged I am. That God can use God's glory is everywhere. But the fact that it's made in our weaknesses, it's made perfect in our weaknesses, that's unbelievable. And then that's where I saw, I'm like, wow, the priesthood is that.
Yeah.
The priesthood is God's glory is made perfect.
Yeah, because God doesn't call the strong,
exactly, yeah,
and the powerful and the most educated. He chooses who? He chooses fishermen.
Exactly, yeah.
He could have chosen most the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes. Yeah. He chooses fishermen.
Yeah.
In the weakness, God's power is shown.
Exactly. And I remember when I was like, I think 1.5 years in my discernment, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I said, look, Lord, I can point fingers right now. These guys would be 10 times better of a priest than me. Why are you choosing me? Which is beautiful.
Wretched man that I am.
What a wretched man I am.
God,
exactly.
God calls and wants us to be part of his vineyard.
There was something even when Job, what Job said with, God has given us so much good. Why not give us difficulties? Which is beautiful. But actually, one thing about this was 3 years ago, Good Friday. This is when I broke down. No, 4 years, Good Friday, 4 years ago. This is when I had to leave my relationship. I was actually in this silent pause with her because I didn't know what to do. Because I'm like, there's no way I can become a priest. I can't do this. I can't discern this priesthood. Like, does God not know who I am? And I remember Easter, Good Friday. That was the last day of our 1 week silence to choose if I should get married or not. And then I'm walking down the Sunday service, Friday service finished. Christ is off the cross. He's in his tomb. And I'm looking at the tomb, and I'm looking at the cross, and Abuna, I bawled my eyes out. Like I was crying, and I couldn't stop crying. Man, it looked like a relative of mine died. Like I just got the news. That's how bad I was crying. And I'm asking myself, why am I crying? What's wrong with me? And then I kept uttering these words. I said, Lord, I'm not worthy. I can't take this. Give it to someone else. I said, Lord, I stutter. I'm not smart enough. I can't lead your people. And I'm just keep saying these things in my heart. And a friend of mine, his sister, sat next to me and I promise you, randomly, and just said, do you know when God called Moses? Moses' reply was, I stutter. I can't lead your people. I'm not strong enough. My heart dropped and I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, was I complaining out loud? It's like, and she looked at me, she's like to me, I'm like, where did this come from? She's like, I don't know. I think I just like, did you know that? I'm like, no. And then the fact hearing that made me 100% confirm to give everything to God. I said, fine, Lord, I'm going to discern. And that's what actually gave me the clearest yes to God. I would always give him maybe,
Yeah.
but that gave me the clearest to God.
God
And every Good
came
Friday
down,
I cried
and
out.
God thought, you know what? This is it, bro. You're done. I'm bringing you into my.
It's game over now, you're mine now.
You're mine now. Yeah.
Ever since then, Abuna, I even Good Friday in Sydney, when I couldn't come here, so I'd stay in Sydney, with the bishop. And I couldn't stop crying too, because I always think of that moment and how grateful I am in that moment. Even sometimes in my room, and I look at that crucifix that Susandra made us. It's a very realistic crucifix, and sometimes I look at us and I tear up.
Yeah.
I'm in my room in my seminary room, and I tear up. I'm in the seminary, like that itself still hasn't hit me yet. Like I'm discerning to become a priest. Like what a privilege that is.
Beautiful, yeah. And where you were and where you are.
Yeah, like in spiritual direction, I can't stop laughing sometimes because I can't believe this. How can a man like that, who I was, to now discern priesthood and celibacy? I think if anyone asked me, how do you know God is real? And I just said, look at me.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm wearing a cassock, the fact that I'm actually in the seminary discerning celibacy,
that's evident.
That's the most evidence you can ever have. Yeah, that's all the proof you can have.
And you know what? That's why I'm not scared. In every generation, God's gonna call people. Yeah, I'm not scared of a shortage of priesthood and a shortage of. I'm not scared of that. God will call these people regardless. God willing, we have every generation. Look, He calls every generation. There's people coming out of nowhere.
Exactly. We have 4 Chaldean seminarians now.
Correct.
God willing, in our diocese.
Yeah.
Next year 5, which is beautiful. We got so many women discerning, this religious life. That's amazing.
God keeps calling.
God keeps calling, and then people go try it. If they don't feel like it, they come back.
That's it. And there's nothing wrong with
At least they did something that many people can't do. The fact that you're trying it is, first of all, one thing, it gives you clarity that, okay, I'm not called for this. Now you know what you're called for. I think that's the best out of everyone else, because everyone else is still struggling for what they're called for. So I think I always tell everyone, just go try it out. But we've got so many, even men that are discerning the religious life to become monks and brothers, and men to become priests and sisters to become nuns. It's beautiful.
And it's beautiful, Shamasha. And you look and you gave it a shot. Yeah. And here you are, you're still going.
God willing,
which is beautiful. And this is the way God works.
Yeah.
He calls the most sinful people, the weakest people, to do His job. Yeah. We're not worthy, but He makes us worthy.
Exactly, man. I'm the most sinful person.
Honestly, it's amazing to see where you were where you are now. And I'm looking forward to see what else God can do in your life. I have no doubt this is just the beginning of what we'll see with Domenic.
Thank you so much.
God willing, Shamasha, the next time you come on our podcast, maybe as a priest.
God willing.
If the Lord wills it,
if the Lord wills it,
we shall call you Father Dom.
Next,
in our next podcast, God willing. Shamasha, good luck.
Thank you.
God bless you. You're making us proud. Make God proud. May God bless you, and God bless your journey. And I hope we get to see more of you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in.